Hi, my name is Bella and I'm on the journey of my life. On the 31st of January, I grabbed my backpack, accidentally stayed with my new friends Julia and Ines for a week in Madrid, and then went to Murcia to work for a family as au pair.
Nora?
I did not only not know how to speak Spanish properly, but this was also the first time in my life I stayed alone for a month without my friends, my boyfriend, or my family. There's a lot to tell you guys, so let's start with some random stuff I learned in random situations, which is chronologically organized. When I think too much, I can always breathe fully and try again, like an anchor. I am in flow if I find myself in a learning situation, which is honest and full of passion without judgment, like playing music or making art, learning something about a topic that interests me, writing down raw thoughts that make me cry, having conversations that are hard and in which I put my heart on the table, trusting the other person not to hurt it, but also when I feel loved. Looking at the stars makes me feel at peace, and reflection makes me feel like home. I cherish every encounter I had with the people that I don't know, that gave me something. Can you say that? Either way, if you think that you are meant, you probably are. I'm inspired by all the people who give everything for someone else, who really help. But in general, I look up to people who put a lot of time and passion and love into their work. Wim Hof, for example, runs in -degrees and goes through a lot of uncomfortability to grow stronger effectively. That's fucking inspiring. Also, my best friend inspires me with her way of carrying me along. I can't do the dishes and watch something at the same time. It's better for me to just listen to a podcast or music. Otherwise, I forget where I am and nothing is fully enjoyable. Showering cold makes me feel like a fucking superhuman. Even though I really did not want to do it in the beginning, I can't remember the part where I somehow started to enjoy it.
No, thank you.
I trust fate completely. I take pride in doing everything as differently as possible, and I am proud of doing sports, yoga, and journaling, and meditation every day. I could become a monk one day if I wasn't as adventurous. I am in a relationship which is very happy and healthy, which I'm very grateful for. Also for all my current and past friends. I have good cooking skills and a non-toxic connection to my family. I'm good at partying with the bonus that I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm 19, bitches. Yeah. Sometimes I keep my mouth shut to keep the harmony, even though I know it's against my principles. Graphic design is my best art skill. I can't stay in the kitchen too long. Cooking, baking, doing the dishes, which teaches me two things. I could not work as a cook and I need variety. I am very grateful for my experiences with love. Even if I was not really in love with these people, I still learned a lot about myself and the way people act to get something. Plus, it was super fun. What should I do with my time does not have to be answered by the head. It's the biggest mood killer and takes the fun out of every situation. So permanently trying to get the best out of everything leads to not appreciating anything for its very own perfectness. I know that's not a word, but I love it. Like every situation is so unique, and just because I didn't wish for it doesn't mean it can't make me happy. My brain itself got better, I think. I still forget less and less, but still a lot. I either drink way too little or way too much, which leaves me either fainting or blurry. Super cool. The blurry thing also has, like everything, an upside. I realized in the most beautiful moments of my life, I felt as if I was dreaming. The sun was shining and it was not too hot, also not too cold. I felt fresh and I saw something in a new light. My addictions want me to recreate this feeling of contentness, which is also not a word, but that's impossible. I have an enormous amount of self-love, which is good. I am the happiest when I can help and see other people grow. I also am allowed to be grateful for everything in my life. In the beginning of the day, I need to be completely alone to concentrate on myself first and filter out the negativity. Only after this is done, it makes sense to learn. Clear head, clear voice. What else did I learn? First off, I started to learn about myself again. The getting to know me apparently never stops. So for you to also get to know me, here's some stuff I like and don't like. I remembered that I like climbing trees because I guess it's a symbol of freedom and something different that also reminds me of my childhood. I don't know if you guys remember that TV show, Tupu? This girl lived in Central Park and somehow a kids show managed to make a homeless girl my first idol ever. Do I feel like her every time I climb a tree? Yes. Does it feel great? Absolutely. Do I want to get a tattoo of a tree? Probably. But let's see. As to TV, I like watching movies and YouTube videos just as much as being productive. But after I do that, I do not feel relaxed. It's more like clicking on pause. A cozy feeling which is neither good nor bad. If I wasn't as conscious of not wasting my time, I would be a full-time TV junkie, and that you can bet on. But I am who I am, and I love finishing things, especially diaries and books. You can't do that while binging, so I have to say goodbye to this habit very often. I really like when everything works out and I did it. This feeling of being in control and accomplishment is a real push. What I also adore is this little comma. It's so soothing in so many situations. For example, in I like miga, steamed salad, quinoa, and cooked red paprika. It is fucking yummy. Also, showering at night is awesome, especially if you use cream afterwards. I feel as fresh as white bed sheets. And yeah, I discovered my positive feelings towards body cream as well. The next one is something I always knew, but which was pretty prominent on all of my hikes. I like dancing while walking. As a matter of fact, sometimes it seems like I have to really grasp the moment. This could be the reason why I don't like going on a walk with somebody else. Sorry. The biggest one for me, though, was that I really love when somebody tells me that they have trust in me and my abilities. Don't I trust myself? I think I do, but who knows? Maybe I'm a little self-destructive. This not knowing sometimes drives me crazy. I just hate feeling helplessness. And cold mornings. Sorry, Wim Hof, but there is nothing nice about waking up and being scared of your feet leaving the bed, not to talk about them touching the ground. What I also dislike are conspiracy theories. They are too unlogical and pessimistic for my taste. Where do they appear? On Instagram. What do I also don't like? Instagram. Maybe there is a hidden connection between those two. As you might have guessed by now, I love humor and not taking life as serious. but due to my "don't waste your time" attitude, I never listened to comedy podcasts. Mainstream alert, now I love Gemischtes Hack, which is the biggest German podcast, like, in general. Speaking of myself, jokes aside, I also learned things about me that I didn't know. For example, a very bad and also extremely unnecessary habit of mine is exaggerating to make a story more interesting. I want to stop that because it's very uncomfortable lying to people. I always forget how to write necessary. Due to all the binge watching of Leah's field notes, I know that I probably am a yang body type. Less almonds in my muesli, please. It makes things bad. Parking is 1,000 times easier if I do it alone, and it is okay to take my time for that. I don't have an opinion about shaving my leg hair. I feel good in my skin when I am in a city. It's like I belong there, and as much as I want to be the kind of person to live on the countryside, it is not the right thing for me. I can't stop thinking about a topic when it's not closed yet, but it's like influencing my future. I hope you know what I mean. When I'm not able to do something about it now and have to be patient, that's like a nightmare. But surrender to love is what Marianne Williamson says. And I want to live by it. Freaky way of life. Scripting is very exhausting because of my perfectionism. Also, a tricky question came to my mind. Why don't people communicate lovingly with people they once were or are close to? Why is it so hard to overcome that fear? You have to do it every time, and you have to forgive. Especially I have to, mostly for selfish reasons. Otherwise, I will never feel less bitter. Reminder for myself, enjoy the wind on your face and the love that comes with it. It brings you pure joy. Breathing is a tool, especially I have to train. And breathing exercises don't just calm me down, but let me take a glimpse in what could be. Wanting to be right benefits me in no way and makes another person feel bad. Plus, biggie for me, good relationships are about mutual respect. I do not need to aspire a perfect body because it already is. Baking is fun, but not if you eat the cake alone. Another big realization I rediscovered changed everything for me, and it's super simple. Discomfort leads to growth, leads to happiness. That means I don't have to be scared of something not being perfect, because if it was, I could never be proud of mastering something. Also, please don't leave a pot of boiling water alone.
Like, what the fuck just happened?
Indulging in reminiscence actively is beautiful and not a waste of time. To dream of others is good for the relationship because after that, you still choose the other person. Not because you need to, but because you want to. Spain is freaking weird. Finding yourself with a person who doesn't judge you and loves you either way is what everybody deserves. Which leads to another point. Always try to understand the other one's point fully before making an argument. Talk out of love and not out of a pain or fear. Driving is just fun if you can decide where, when, and how fast to go. Snoozing is just not necessary. Entertainment is a luxury good. When you save money, you often spend time and loads of energy. What I did or learned in a day does not define the day's worthiness. And if it does, it is out of a place of fear. Don't use a hairdryer and a lamp at the same time in the same power socket. Having a gas cooker only is helpful in case of a power failure. Coffee does not vaporize in cake. Day drinking is just not that cool if you're alone. Don't bake when you're feeling a bit drunk. Reading outside is always the right decision. Jan Patrick Dempsey is hot. When I entered this journey, I was really sure that I am not afraid of anything big, only spiders, and that nothing is really holding me back. Naive little Bella did not have a clue how many internalized mental patterns were the reasons of her sudden mood swings. But that's okay, because now I realize loads of trigger points, anxieties, and stuff that makes me nervous. Are you ready? For example, I am scared of stealing people's thoughts and not making up my own ones. Or that I do something that misses its point in the end, or that is not significant. I also hate to break promises and to disappoint the people who believe in me. I don't want to let anyone down, so they can't do that to me as well. I am scared of being misunderstood and of not doing enough to save the world, especially. I don't want to give away responsibility and to always have the last word. Otherwise, the misunderstanding stuff happens. Do you see the pattern here? Every one of these fears are connected. I am a person who always says yes, and if people ask me if I have time, although I wanted to take it for myself just to please them, and because I have FOMO, a lot. A weird realization I had is that I'm scared of making an honest effort at something, especially physical stuff, in front of other people, because then they and I could see me fail and not doing it perfectly. I mean, I always knew that I don't like giving 100% in those situations. Like sprinting, guys, literally nothing is scarier to me. But the reason why? Not a single clue. Now I am smarter. Thank you for that, MURCIA. There also was a situation when I wanted to go on a walk, but my phone died and I didn't know the area. In this snippet of a moment, my whole mood changed. Going on a walk without a phone and a plan felt like the scariest thing in the world to me. Do I need safety that bad? Changing plans also gives me big time anxiety. When I'm not able to do something for or against it, I get crazy. Appointments in general make me feel really nervous. Even if everything is planned out, I'm scared that I don't make it before an appointment, even if I'm super punctual. Similar to the feeling you get when a ticket inspector approaches you and you have a ticket but you feel so busted. Having to take track of time, worst thing ever, guys. Don't like watching the clock as much as I don't like being watched myself. I learned to go on though. In the strongest feeling of unwellness lays the biggest freedom, because I am proud and at peace with myself. Next on, trigger points. Everybody has them. They make being present and happy with and in life so much harder. They bring out the worst in you. There were a lot of situations when I felt unwell and I had vicious thoughts about a person that was standing right next to me. They said or did something, and internally, I got furious. Acknowledging the triggers was or is a good start, but I don't know what to do with them, so will you just tell me or help me, please? I get triggered when I am treated as if I am inferior, but I did not get triggered when I needed help and somebody talked to me as if I was a child to help me, if they question my abilities or correct me. My take on this would be that I'm desperate or just so grateful in those situations that I don't care about the way I was being supported. The intentions didn't matter. Also, this feeling of being sneered down on, I don't know if you can say that, but let's try, by someone who knows something that I didn't know before, it hurts really, really bad. I don't want to have or make mistakes that label me as dumb. Another trigger point is when people take my actions for granted and I'm not valued as much as I think I deserve to be. I also can't stand if anyone wants me to take time for them, even if I don't have the time and energy to be there for them. It's the obligation and the pressure I build on myself in those situations that make me miserable. For example, someone tells me, "Oh, this is what you want to do in this particular moment, and this is how much time you want to invest in me." I can tell you one thing, when this phone call is made, it doesn't happen with love, because the interest in each other is not mutual at the moment. And that is not a big thing. Like, if it's not like that, it's not like that. That's it. Why do people text each other so demandingly? Like, what the fuck? Why do you want to make me feel so uncomfortable? I am triggered if somebody makes fun of me, or if they do not take my vulnerable side seriously, or make fun of that. That just shatters me, and all the trust I learned to build scatters in one moment way too easy. Even though I love change on the outside, I get aggressively defensive if anybody wants to talk into my moral standards and the way I am thinking. I am a human of principles. I literally built my whole life around them. Is that healthy for me? I don't know. Maybe that goes hand in hand with my sudden outburst of aggressiveness whenever somebody doesn't understand something that seems very obvious for me. Like finding something via Google Maps or going grocery shopping. Please help me with that one. I think I like it the worst. I also get triggered easily if somebody does not think along or helps, even though they know their help is not only welcome but appropriate for living together. In the end, a random one, I hate when other people watch me, especially while I am eating. Although I really don't know what to do with this info apart from knowing this info, this, plus numerous other events, led me to make a list of ifs for myself. One that I hopefully don't forget. So now be honored and excited to read Bella's blunt lists of blurry ifs. If I am talking to someone, I really want to take my time for them. I want to play my part in both parties, being willing and able to have this talk exactly now. If I feel too good, I want to cry because I can't handle it. If I allow myself to do that is the other question. If I am down because of little stuff, I either have to say something immediately, accept the situation fully, or forgive whatever made me sad. That's a simple recipe for life, I tell you, and it saved mine every day. If I am not as present, I have to stop putting my armor up, which is either wanting to be right, say, "It's their fault," or turning off my empathy. It makes me unhappy when that happens, and the others as well. If I can't organize my thoughts, I just need to start writing and let it all out. Don't be afraid to dive deep, Bella. It's scary, but you know it's worth it in the end. If I get a message I'm afraid of, I have to answer it immediately without thinking twice. If something small but unwelcome happens, be grateful that it wasn't something big. If something is selfish, repeat for yourself, "I don't care what they say or do," and just enjoy the feeling of wellness on the inside. If I'm approaching a new topic, it's smart to do a brain dump first. If there is an appointment in the future and something has to be done before that in a short time, Stop to feel so stressed. Jesus. Something is going to happen either way, and if you cannot change it, that's just the way it is. If I am not sure what opinion to have, I just have to let the conversation get by. That's okay. If I make a mistake, my defense mechanism is a bad conscience and incomprehension. I tear myself apart, and that's really not necessary.